Hi there, it's Karen here. Welcome back. And I'm going to be returning today to the Altered Index Challenge. I know I've missed a couple of weeks because I've been away and just have other things. I haven't had videos to make to put in, so I think last week you'd have seen me making the things for my retreat, and now I'm back and I thought, well, I should get back into it for the next Monday video. Kind of lost track as which week we should be on, so I just thought, well, I'll do a week that I haven't done later than the one I did last. So the last one I did was typography, which was week 21. So I thought, well, I'll kind of try and catch myself up a little bit, and I thought I'd just do week 23. Week 22 was trees. I could have done that one, but I thought if I need to catch up a little bit, otherwise I'll be too far behind. I'm probably still going to be a bit behind, but I thought I'll do time, week 23, see where we are. Steampunk is next. I don't really understand steampunk. I might have a go, but I'm not sure at the moment whether I will do steampunk. There's some, they're all a bit tricky. So I just thought I'd do time because I think I've got an idea for what I could do for this one and see what I do after that. That's what I'm thinking. So I've kind of got a bit of a plan, which is always a help. Don't know if it'll work, which isn't great, but there we go. So I know I'm going to start with this stencil. There's a Tim Holtz, good old Tim Holtz, never lets me down. Clockwork. And we're talking time, so I'm going with clocks, that kind of thing. I'm sure there's more lateral thinking that can happen here, but I'm not very good at that. I'm a bit literal. So I'm sticking with the obvious. The obvious is the safest to me, considering I've never done prompts before, so I think I can stay within what seems the safest option. No, I didn't want to use that. No, sorry. That is for edging around things. I need to do my little brush for the stenciling. I'm using pumice stone, partly, but not entirely, because a lot of my, some of my inks, the ones I use the most, are still packed in my craft bag, which is still downstairs. But also I thought I could have gone and got it, no problem, when I was pulling things out, and I thought, well, I'll try a different colour. I don't use pumice stone very often, so why not use it for this? Because there's no real colour scheme attached to this sort of idea, this prompt, so I thought, oh, let's use this one for a change. I might find I really like it and use it a bit more often. I'm not sure. I haven't used it for so long. Let's see how that looks. Okay. I wonder if I can bring that around and just complete that over there like that. Does that work? It's probably the wrong size. It's a bit smaller. I don't know. That bit seems to be. I think that goes. If I line that up there, that might just fill that little gap in, because it looks a bit too much like a, this hard line here. I thought maybe I can just kind of fill that in a little bit. It's a bit better. It's not fabulous because I haven't quite got it right, but let's try that. Anyway, that'll be all right. Just doesn't look quite so hard there. I wonder if I can do something similar here. So line that up there. Okay, that looks better. Even if it's not perfect, it just, you wouldn't, unless you look really closely, you wouldn't realise. Okay, it's quite darkish, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. Well, it's too late for it is. Oh. Okay, so I've got a few little bits that I've pulled out that I thought I would use perhaps to decorate. So I've got this clock sticker. I was thinking I might put that in that corner. Then I have this die cut. It might be a Tim Holtz piece. I think it was in a pack that I was sent as part of a Happy Mail. And it's sort of like a, I would say it's a mantelpiece clock. And I might just put it right down and cut these little bits off here. And then from another little pack, so these are just packs I've had for goodness knows how long, little packs of stickers. So they're vellum stickers, and I've got this is like a pocket watch. So I thought maybe I could tuck that in there. So that's kind of a little clustery corner that I thought I might do. And then I have this clock, I don't know if you can see it actually because it's on the stamp, but it's a clock stamp from this stamp set by Teresa Collins called Fabrications. I've had it for years. It's got all sorts of bits and pieces on it. It's got a key and a sort of a flourishy bit and fleur-de-lis and a corner flourish, and it's got this clock on it which I have used quite often. I have even used it on a previous make, I'm not sure. But I have a plan for it, and I think I probably should do that first, just in case these need to be moved in some way. So I'm going to put those to one side, and this as well. And this is where I'm not sure how well it's going to work out. So I have punched, that's the word, punched, a circle that I'm going to put this on. But before I do, I want to use my gold paint stick to go around the edge. Step one. So I have a plan, but I'm not sure how it'll work, because I've tried doing this sort of thing before, and it's not easy. But I'm going to try and make it kind of hanging. So I'm just going to go around this with the gold. I'm just going to spread it because you get quite thick bits. And a bit more, just wind that up. So it's got a sort of gold outer frame for my clock. Oh my goodness, got a big lump. See if I can use that. So I don't really have any kind of wax or anything, so this works quite well. It's one of those sort of things to put gold around the edge of things, and it's much cheaper than buying a pot of gold wax, which I may not use often enough, and then sometimes they just go hard, don't they? So, and if you saw my video of things that I bought while I was away, and I said I found a Works, the shop they're called the Works, that it was, many of them have been closed. Well, these paint sticks, they came from our Works that used to be near us, which is now gone. And yeah, they did some really good things. I think it doesn't have quite such a range that they used to, even the ones that are still open. But it's nice to just find one or two things that they still do. I mean, like the 12 by 12 paper pad I thought was rather nice. And you can't always get, and you know, for £5 that's a really good value for a 12 by 12 paper pad. Okay. I've got that. Just trying to smooth it out, make sure I've got rid of lumps and bumps. And I'm hoping that let's just see how the stamp fits there, whether I need to do a bit more gold. I might just put a little bit more on. Where'd it go? There. It rolled away. I might just put a little bit more around here because it's going to be, I want it to go a little bit behind where I'm going to stamp. If it looks awful, I'll do it again and just do the gold around the edge. But I was hoping to have a proper frame, but obviously I've not done a very good job. If it shows through, not sure how it'll go, but I'm going to have a go, and I'm going to emboss it, heat emboss it. So let's just see how that looks. I wonder if I need to dry this a bit first. Well, let's give it a try. Let's wipe this off. And I'm going to do it on, so I've got my heat mat. I don't know how heat resistant this mat is, so I'm going to make sure. Do it on here. And goodness, bits of gold paint stuck to me. So I've got some black embossing powder, and I've got my Versamark, which I don't know quite, made a bit of a mess of that, but hopefully I don't get too much turquoise on here. Looks like I might have to get a new one of those. We'll see how it comes out. Yes, can't even remember how I did that, but a bit of a mess. Doesn't seem to have come out on the stamp as far as I can see. Let's go there and put that on here. Try and get it central. And push it down. Okay, let's see how it looks with the black. Ooh, it's coming out a bit lumpy. I had this a long time. See if it's come out okay. Oh, some of the black, of course, is sticking to the wet gold, but actually, I don't know that I mind that too much. I'm just going to brush off these bits that are on the face of the clock. Okay, I could brush that off. But I might actually leave that on because it might give it a sort of aged look. And get the embossing powder back into the pot. Right, so I'm just going to heat it, so I will mute it, but so that you can, but leave it on so you can see the transformation, which is always the fun part of embossing, isn't it? So yeah, it's got a bit of a shine to it. It hasn't got as much shine as I'd hoped, but I think it's fine. A little bit smudged, but it's an old clock. It's going to look a little smudged. And it's just a little bit of bubbling here where the of the paint. So I might just try and dab that a little bit. Although I think it just gives it a little bit of texture, so I'm not sure I mind that too much. No, it's dried like that anyway. So I've got that, I've got my clock. Perfect it is not, but I don't mind that. Perfection is not always the goal, is it? Not in our world. So what I want to do, I want to have it hanging. But I've decided the phrase time flies came to my mind. So I thought I might give it wings, my clock. So I've been pulling out a few butterflies to see which wings would work. And I think this is a moth. And I think I might be able to attach those wings because as long as it's not too wide, it might be, well, we'll see. So I've got a couple of options. So I'm going to try. It's a bit mad, I haven't really. I just thought, oh, I could put wings on my clock and make it time flies. I know. This isn't the whimsical prompt, but I'm going a bit whimsical anyway. So if I did that, it's going to be a bit big. I'm wondering if, much as I like these wings, now I've cut them in half, I'm not sure they're not too big. They might be better. I also had one of these, which is more of a, I think it's from a pack, die cut from a pack. I quite like the colour just because I thought it might go with the gold. I might cut round this because I want to get rid of all this white. See if maybe this would work. Let's have a try. So if I was to, is that going to... that one? Not sure the colour works now with this gold. Or would this one look better? Maybe I need to put a bit of gold around the edge of this. I think that might be the best one. Try not to be quite so heavy-handed with the gold paint on this wing. But if I were to put a little bit of the gold around the wing, on the edge of the wing, that would make it look like it's together. Oop. Yep, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to use this one after all. I'm both giving myself different options because much as I like the moth wing, it's just going to be too big for the piece, I think. I'll just put a bit of gold around this one. Go around that all the way around actually. That one. Just put a little bit on this side as well. Let's see. Got that one. That one. Yeah. Just going to snip off these little these little bits because I don't need those. Okay, so glue. Don't know if this has worked because this is the little pot I left behind, so it's not been used for well over a week. So I'm hoping I can still get a bit out. It's nearly empty, so I've got my next one I took away with me as a backup. But I thought I'll try and use this one up. So the right spot. I think so, yeah. Whoop. There. Okay, good. Didn't get any on my card. Now, maybe the best thing to do is lay that down and do it flat. Stop making life difficult. Trying to get the angle the same. Oh, now I've got to get this is the 12, so I get it central so they line up like that. Okay, I think we're on. Okay. Did I get myself a piece of kitchen towel? I'm not sure I did in the end. There's some bits of... Ooh, something's brushing off here. Don't know what that... Oh, look at that. It's brushed off. Not sure why. I may have to go over that again because for some reason that's come right off. Maybe I didn't heat it properly. So I'm just going to redo it or go over it again and... Okay, so I've tried going over that little corner that had brushed off because it hadn't melted properly, and look, as you can see, I made a right mess of it. Didn't get it lined up. It was inevitable, really. So it looked awful. So yeah, so I've abandoned that one. In fact, cut the wings off. The one came off okay, and the other one I just cut it off. So then I had another go of doing it, starting from scratch, doing the gold, stamping with the embossing powder, embossing pad, and doing the embossing again, and that hasn't come out very well either. I've got a bit of shine and a little bit of definition around this outer rim, but the clock itself looked pretty awful. So I abandoned that one. Well, I put it aside, maybe I'll come back to that. So then I thought I'll just try doing it just on some card without the gold behind it, because I thought the gold, I overdone the gold on here, and that's one of the reasons it didn't come out very well. So I just did it on this plain card. I got this one, so I got a reasonable amount of definition, but there's absolutely no shine. I think this embossing powder that I'm using, the black, is so old, it's just not melting properly. And I'm not getting any of the shine. I was hoping for a really nice shiny finish in the black, and there's very little definition, and it's just not going how I was hoping. So I was not happy with that one. So I thought I'll give it one more try. So instead of just going with the black embossing powder straight onto here, the final one I have gone with black. I've stamped it with black. Then I've gone over it with some clear embossing powder. So I have got a little bit of shine. All my embossing powders are super old, which is probably why it's not going terribly well. So I've got the lovely definition of the clock because I stamped with just some ordinary, stamp pad, and then I went over it again with the embossing powder. But this time with the clear. So it is embossed. There is a little bit of shine, but there's a lot more definition on this one. So I think this is the one I'm going to go with. And what I thought I'd do is punch this one out, but a bit smaller, because I don't want to cover the whole thing. I might just keep this outer rim. I'm just still not entirely sure, or whether to just cut round this whole thing. That's what I'm not entirely sure, because this has gone a bit. I've lost a lot of the definition here. I thought it looked okay when I first did it, but now it's all kind of merged into each other, so it doesn't look great. So maybe what I need to do is punch it out again. Maybe I use the big punch. What did I do with it? It's here. I was going to use a smaller punch and just punch the inner clock face and leave the outer bit, this bit here, and just put it in on the middle. But now I'm not so sure. Maybe I need to cover all of it if I can. Maybe I punch the whole thing out and get it in here. It's not quite big enough to go in, that's trouble. And it's catching. So I'm going to have to cut it out, I think. I'm going to cut around the whole thing and then see. I put this little tab on here because I was going to try and punch it with this punch, and I needed something to hold it by. Because I was going to just do that. But now I'm not so sure. I think I'm going to try and cut around it and try and make it look circular. Right, so I've got that. Just need to tidy it up a little here, where I've gone a bit weird, a bit off course. And then see if I can perhaps just put that over the top of there, like that. It needs a border, so I think I'll get where'd the black go? Just get my black ink that I was using and just edge around it to give it that little definition around the edge. I feel like I've made this a lot more complicated than it needed to be, but I think I just don't use my embossing powders enough, and now they've got really old and don't work very well. Okay, so now we have defined our edge a bit. I've still got the gold around the outside, which I wanted. So I think I might stick it like that. I did go over this a little bit with my pumice stone. I think I might go over it just a touch more, just to try and give it a bit more of an aged look. One of the things I did like about how it worked with the black is I had all this spotting with the black embossing powder, which actually made the clock face look old, and I quite like that. But I'm just going to put a bit of this on just to kind of give it a little bit more character. Okay, we'll work with that. I'm going to glue it onto here now. I think we need to move on. Make sure it's pretty central. Okay, so I haven't got quite the standout black that I was hoping for, but at least we have got definition, and it does look like a clock. It's that way around. That's it. Make sure I keep it the right way up. That's the 12. So now I can put my wings back on. So they're going to go back there. Ooh, may have overdone the glue a bit. Okay, and I need to make sure the other one goes at the same angle. Okay. Whoop. Right. So there's our wings. Glued back on. Whoop. Not quite glued on. That's it. Okay. All right. It's not quite the right angle. I want it that angle. Just pulling it out a touch. Right, I think that's okay. Now, let's get rid of that because that was a disaster. And that one. Right, so what I want to do now, I want to get my car back in. I want to hang it. So I've got a few bits pulled out, and I'm going to try using a bit of this gold thread to hang my clock, make it swing. That's the theory. So what I'm going to need to do is punch a hole. I wanted to put an eyelet in there, but I'm just wondering if it's going to be too big. No, I think I will put that eyelet in there. So let's get the big bite and just punch that hole, try to get it in the right spot. Okay, put the eyelet in. Get that set. Okay, so far so good. We have our eyelet, and just going to double this over. It's much longer than I'm going to need, but I just thought I'd cut it to size when I get to it. This is the bit I'm not sure is how well it's going to work. She says, having made such a mess of the embossing, but at least I knew what I wanted to do with the embossing. It just didn't work out as I'd hoped, but it's okay. We got there. So I've got that, and I want to. So I thought what I'd do is put a brad at the top. Well, there was one other thing I thought I might do. I have got this little, it's like a little clock hand, and I could put that in there too. Yeah, I'd like to do that, I think, because that'll just give that a bit more depth. Before I do anything else, I need to, and I have got a little brad I want to put in the middle there. So tiny I can't see it. Is that the right one? It might be too small. It's teeny tiny. I think that will just about work. Yes, okay. So I'm going to put a little hole, poke that through. Through the middle of this clock. Got it in the right spot? No. Okay. Then where'd my little arm go? A little clock hand. Well, I lost it already. I can see the little brad. There it is. Let's see if I can make this work. It's so fiddly. Why am I giving myself something so fiddly to do? I don't know. Rush of blood to the head, I reckon. Okay, that can go through there. Then it'll go through. In theory, it'll go through that hole in the middle. Going to go through. I'm really bad at putting little things through little holes. Okay, I managed to make it work finally. I grabbed another one that hadn't quite separated quite as much. So let's hope it doesn't fall out. So I got it there, and now, okay, and I'm just flattening it. Okay, that's good. So that's that one. So I've got that little handle, a little hand that will tell that will move. Now I've got to attach it, so I thought I'd use another brad. To put it on the page up here. Right. Put it about here. Oh, poked it in my finger. Didn't do any damage. Right, so now I've poked another hole. This is a slightly bigger brad, so it's gone through without any trouble. I don't want it to be completely flat because I want to wind the the gold thread around it. So I'm not flattening it too much. So there's a little bit of room. This is the bit this is the bit I was a bit unsure about. Not all the other bits. So I thought I'm going to try and wind that around. It'll go. And this one as well. And try and tie it. Maybe tie it at the top. That's come round that way. So I want this one to come round that way. Possibly a bit thicker than it should be. If I can tie it under, I'll give it a try. Let's see. Okay, I think that's there. I'm going to say that's all right. So I want it to swing like that. Okay, we'll go with that. Perfect? No. Good enough? I think so. Right, so all I want to do is I've got this, got my swing clock. Time is flying. And now I wanted to put on my extra little embellishments just to make the page look a bit more interesting. So I've got these bits. This is a vellum sticker. So I'm going to pop that on there. Try and get the time right. It's going on that corner there. And I've got my mantelpiece clock there. Is that going to interfere? Oops, no, I quite like how it's going to swing in front of that. Okie doke. So I've got that there, and I'm going to put this little pocket watch sticker behind that as well. So I'm going to put that up here. And I'm going to glue that on there. Now I did have one other thing, or a couple of other things I wanted to do. I don't know if I'll ever get this finished. But I do want to finish it in the way I had planned, if I can. So, 2 more things I wish to do. That's going to go there. Alright. One I know I want to do, and the other one I'm not sure about. So I got a few little metal pieces. I've got some little alarm clocks. I had this little, I don't know if you can even see it. Let me put it on something so you can see. This little charm which is a little clock. It's really sweet. It's almost like a kidney shape, a little loop on it. And I thought maybe I could put that one here somewhere because I rather like it. I think the alarm clocks are a bit bulky. That's a rather good one, but it is quite bulky, and I think I've probably got enough on here. So I thought I might see if I can get this on somehow. But I'm not quite sure where I want it to go. And again, I was going to do it on a brad, but I'm not sure it would work. I could put it there, I suppose. I might come back to that. But I've got... I want to put some words on, and I'm going to stamp them. So I've got my little click stamps, and I'm just going to do time flies because that would make more sense of the wings then, wouldn't it? And I've got some scraps of paper that I could stamp onto. Might try that. Any more pieces that would... Maybe that piece would be better. Give me a bit more room. Alright, so I'm going to stamp time flies onto this paper and pop that on. Oh, I probably should trim these bits off because it's sticking. Trim these bits of sticker off the card. Those bits up. And I'll separate it because I'll probably put them separately on the page or on the piece. Flies. Okay. And I'm going to cut them rather than tear them, I think. Just got to get my scissors, my big scissors out of my little plastic. This is the pouch from the craft trolley. I still haven't taken everything out of yet. So I might find I'm crafting downstairs this coming week because we've got our bathroom being replaced, I suppose. It's going to start tomorrow, and the bathroom is right next door to where I am here, so I think I might, if I do any videos next week, it'll be downstairs from the kitchen. It'll be interesting. If I get time. Not going to have much time. Okay. I just want to... Probably should be using my trimmer, but guess what? It's downstairs. So I'm going to just go with it. Go with the scissors. Alright, time flies. Get rid of all these bits. And put the lid back on. and I will just go around it with this pumice stone. One. Just made it a little bit more like time has affected it a bit. All right, so we've got time flies, and I'll see where that should go. Come back here, Mr. Clock. Okay, I think we're probably going to put that up here. Check I'm filming. Yep. Time. Slides about and flies. Okie dokie. Oh, it's come undone here. Right, I might just have to glue that in. Oop. Ugh. Get rid of the bits of the blobs of glue. It's a bit short now. Gluing in those bits of gold thread because they're not really tied very well. Hopefully that'll hold it. Okay, so they're gonna in theory swing. Yep. Get rid of all that blob of glue on there. Okay, so we've got that. Now it's a case of, do I want to put this on somewhere? Just to make it a little more interesting. I think I do. Trouble is I need another one of those little teeny tiny brads. Eek. I'll probably have to do most of this off camera because it just is so fiddly. So I need to poke another hole. See if I can get this little brad through the hole. Love to make life difficult for myself, don't I? But I just wanted to add this extra bit of texture, this extra dimension. So, where are we going to put it? We're going to put it here, in the clock cluster. And make the hole big enough to get the bread through it. It's going to go through there. How it's gone straight through. Ah! Well, well, well. It's funny how that happens. First time I just couldn't get it through the other one. Through here. But this one's gone through. And that also has a bit of movement. Woohoo! Okay, so here we have our little card for the prompt time. And I've just done it took a while to get here because I made things difficult by trying to be over ambitious. But I'm quite pleased how it turned out. And we've got a couple of interactive elements. We've got our clock flying through the air. So time is flying. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed that. It was all a bit of a struggle at times, but I still had fun. And I'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.